What's going on, friends? It has been a hot minute since we've been together, but here we are together. It's me, it's Kevin, and this is the Feed Your Fat Face podcast. Welcome in. We're adding a new dimension because, unbelievably, some of you have wanted to see our fat faces as we discuss food.
That'll go away.
That'll go away. Here we are. Spotify and YouTube will be hosting our video, but yeah, it's been a while, man. How have you been?
Been good. From Halloween on, the rest of the year is just kind of crazy.
Yeah, we decided just the craziness of schedule, it was a good spot to take a break. And we've been we've still been working. We haven't been recording, but we've been talking a lot about what we hope season 2 and beyond looks like for Feed Your Fat Face. So I'm excited about some of the stuff coming.
Yeah, me too. You know, it's we've got we've got a challenge coming up.
Yep.
We've got holiday food. I mean, some of it's hard to beat. Some of it could go away.
Some of it could go away, for sure.
And just a new year, maybe we'll see what the new year holds. Is it going to be more fat or less fat?
Man, I want to do more, I want to talk more fat, but I want to be less fat. Like, I'm efforting.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, and I say that I'm efforting. I'm not. I want to.
You're desiring to effort.
Desire to effort. That's the truth of it. I guess the biggest news coming up in our world is that we are actually in process on an actual studio, so we won't be recording here at my dining room table much longer.
Which I like the dining room table because it's right next to the kitchen.
It is, and it has served us well. Yeah. It will always have a special.
It served us mushroom Swiss burgers just a minute ago.
Just a minute ago, it was a good time. We're gonna have to put in some sort of kitchen in the new studio. It feels like
I still have some burger
residual grease.
Well, burger lotion.
Burger lotion.
Yeah.
Never heard it called that, but have you had any, so since we've been together last, obviously we're going to talk a lot about holiday food here in a minute, but have you had any just standout culinary adventures in the last little while?
I want to say I have, because I've told you about a couple, but I'm drawing a complete blank.
If I remind you of your trip to Scottsdale, it feels like there was something out of that.
Yeah, the trips I took, Scottsdale and Alabama, both had amazing food. The Mission in Scottsdale, along with something in Ivy, something Italian themed. I think Olive and Ivy. That sounds right. Good. That sounds Italian-y.
It does.
Was really good. There is a burger place. I will have to look up the name of it. I think it was Paradise Burger in Phoenix. That was next level burgers.
That's when we talked about. We actually briefly discussed that.
Oh, okay. I could talk about it again because it was amazing.
Is that good? I'm trying to think. I guess the best thing that I've had, there's a French restaurant here in town called Monchuchu, which is just fun to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we went there and I had these steamed mussels. It was kind of a cold day and it was like this really
that's
crusty bread. It was perfect, man. It was delicious. So that's probably been my non-holiday highlight anyway. So
yeah, that works. My wife made some food last week that was next level. The kielbasa wrapped in bacon.
Yeah.
She does these pimento pinwheels, but she added jalapeno to it and just a little bit. And so it was
sounds amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cinnamon sugar chips with a cranberry jalapeno dip.
I'm here for it.
2 kinds of chili, white chili, and then real chili. She didn't even put up the fight. No stew, no beans. So it was actual chili. And then we had and this is so rich, I can only have a small piece at a time. So
that's saying something.
It is chocolate, marshmallow whiskey, caramel, bacon, bark.
That's a lot of names.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot of names.
So good.
So we're like 4 minutes in. What are you thinking about the video so far?
I'm good with it.
It's going to take some adjustment, I think, right? Yeah. So we'll get there. We have we're going to be adding some camera shots, so it's not just you guys watching us stare at one another. It'll be a little.
Would you prefer I look at you?
Yeah.
Or would you prefer I look
meaningful eye contact with the audience? Okay. It's good to be back in the studio, man.
It is. It's
good to be back. So let's talk. So we are in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Christmas is actually coming up on Monday, so not even a week away. And I just read that holiday dinners, like the average holiday dinner, most people consume somewhere in the neighborhood, if you include dessert, of 7,000 calories. is where a holiday meal goes. And so
I just hear wah, wah in my head.
Right.
Like that seems like a letdown.
And so, but that, I mean, if you consider most people are on a $2,000 calorie a day,
I think
total.
the US, that's like the USDA, what their portion size and their thing goes by. I don't think that that's what most people live on.
I would love to. Yeah. Well, most people, I think, let's hear from you in the comments. I think most people live on less.
No, I think they live on far more.
I don't think so.
I think most of the food we eat has so many calories in it.
Okay. Can I meet you halfway? Can I go, I absolutely think you're right that most people live on far more. I'm not sure we ought.
Oh, no, we shouldn't. No. Right. I don't mean that at all. We do.
We, live on eating like
we do.
Especially people who are prone to a podcast called Feed Your Fat Face.
Feed Your Fat Face. Hey, real quick, I went on a trip a couple weeks ago with my work that I do away from Feed Your Fat Face. Met with my team, and I want to say hi to my team because we talked a lot about the podcast, and they are going to be listening and watching and helping promote. So,
and really, that's what we want for Christmas.
Yeah.
Help us get the word out.
Yeah, my friends, Tilly and Angela, Teresa, and Jake, and everybody else from that trip. You know, everybody and anybody I forgot, tell me, and I'll throw your name.
We got to get our buddy we went to the baseball game with. We got to get Faz on there.
Faz was there. Yeah, we got to get him. We got to get him on here because the man can.
He can throw down. Yeah, he used to do some catering.
Yeah, so we need to talk to him as well.
Coming for you, Faz. As we transition and talking about holiday meals, I learned just this week that. So, do you know why the origin of the candy cane? You know why candy canes were invented?
No,
they were invented to keep kids quiet.
Well, good job.
Yeah, there was a German choir master who they found that they had kids would get too loud and it would distract from the music and all that was going on, and so he had this candy maker. He commissioned this special candy that would take a while for the kids to eat, and it would keep them engaged.
Now, is that the original shape and all of that?
Yeah, the whole shoot match. Okay. And just was it. Now, it did not originally have stripes. It was just a white piece of candy. But yeah, the whole idea was
interesting. And now children eat them by the box full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What is your favorite holiday? Like when you think, let's talk specifically. So Thanksgiving's behind us. Mm-hmm. You're looking ahead to holidays. We'll talk kind of the whole Christmas, that time of year. What's your favorite, like, what's your go-to? What's your favorite meal, favorite food?
My favorite part of the meal is, I nothing beats a stuffing, not a dressing, a stuffing.
And you know the difference.
Yeah. Okay. Dressing is made outside the bird, stuffing's made inside the bird.
Yeah, and a lot of people will tell you that you shouldn't
do it that way.
Yeah.
I like it that way. It
cornbread or white bread?
Cornbread.
I think I'm the only one on the planet that likes regular white bread stuffing.
Yep, I think that's
any of you like white bread stuffing with the celery, would you just put a note in the comments so that I know that I'm not utterly alone? I just love it.
On this, you are.
I don't like. I don't. My wife. Okay, so here's the reason for my hesitation. My wife gets on me a lot about especially my food hyperbole.
Yeah, because it's either you love it or hate it.
Right. So I'm trying to work on that. But here, I'm gonna say I don't like cornbread. I don't like cornbread.
You don't like it at all.
I like cornbread, like sweet cornbread or honey cornbread as a side with chili.
What about jalapeno cornbread?
It has its place, yeah. But it's a chili food. Stuffing, I just don't. Stuffing or dressing, neither. I don't.
You don't. Do you not eat cornbread away from chili?
Do I eat cornbread away from chili?
Like, I don't think I have to have anything particular to go with cornbread. I would have cornbread with just about anything.
No, there's a special subset of foods. I would have it with black-eyed peas.
And I just found a new bacon cornbread recipe that I'm going to try.
I would have cornbread with collard greens. But yeah, it's limited.
Okay.
It's limited.
All right. Interesting.
But yeah, I'm probably alone, but we'll see in the comments. Let me know if you two like white bread stuffing.
Yeah, I like stuffing. I like cranberries. So the cranberry sauces,
fresh
cranberry relish. I prefer fresh, but I will, if the canned is all that's available, I'm not going to,
You'll eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, I'm going to do work.
You're not taking the moral high ground on this or anything.
No.
Good. So for Christmas, we always do, my family, the Powers clan, we do a big prime rib. I cook it for my family every year gosh, it's probably been 25 or 26 years now that I've been doing that.
How many Powerses are we talking?
We're talking 11 Powerses now.
11 Powerses.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so cooking a prime rib, you obviously have the different doneness of the prime rib. Does
Not in the Powers house.
Does it line up that way? Does it?
We are we are a medium rare.
Yeah, I think
like my wife and my sister-in-law don't prefer medium rare,
so they go for the ends.
They just toughen up that day because I don't. So a prime rib, I'm sure most of you know this, but a prime rib is a rack of ribeyes.
Yeah,
we're not going to ruin. We're not going to ruin that kind of meat by overcooking.
Well, I wouldn't think you would, but also, you know, if your wife's like, this needs another pass over the lighter.
Nah, there's enough sides to go around. She does go from the end, but even the end in my setup is going to be pretty red.
Okay,
it's going to be pretty red.
So your center is rare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. So yeah, that's my favorite. But I'm going to say this. This is broad strokes though. I really, in terms of sides, I enjoy a good green bean casserole. However, they're easy to get wrong. I know you hate green bean casseroles.
I've never had a good one.
You and I'm learning.
You kidding me?
I'm learning right now as we're doing this that we want very different holiday meals.
Which we could go to the same place and never touch the same dishes.
Which
works. Green bean casserole.
Love it. Love it.
You were dropped on your head as a child.
I mean, sure, but I don't think that's why I like it.
Jeez. Okay.
Are you a nogger? You like eggnog?
Oh yes. I mean, leaded or unleaded.
Yep.
The
unleaded, to me, it's like we're just drinking melted vanilla ice cream now.
Oh yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it should be celebrated, and the nog season needs to be longer.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I think that it should be seasonal.
No.
Though I can see it not holding up to the summer heat very well.
Yeah, but still, come on. Look at all the other foods that are being made. I mean, there's coffee creamer and Snickers and Twix and, you know, all these. We're not worried about calorie counts here.
Oh, no. I feel like, so it takes me back to this one time when I was still pastoring. We did an event for Halloween. So a pie eating contest, and all of the pies were dairy based. And this was a few years ago when I had my much longer beard. And it got in my beard, and then you have to spend the rest of the day walking around, and it's just like,
so you smell like baby vomit.
Oh my gosh, it was awful. And so that's where I'm coming from. That's the only reason I could see it not doing well seasonally in South Texas is it would. Gosh, it just feels like
I
it would
keep
turn.
my
what
house
if you just
in the mid to low 60s? So
what if you like left it
in
in the car while you ran into the store? It's instantly finished.
That's on you. If you buy nog, that's your last stop before home. You can't even turn your car off to pump gas. I mean, you have to be prepared.
I don't know, man. I really do like eggnog.
I know asking large groups of people to all be smart at the same time is a stretch, but
yeah, it's not. How do you feel about turkey?
I'm ambivalent to turkey.
Yeah,
turkey's way too easy to get wrong. I really enjoy fried turkey.
Yeah, that's if I'm
and I'm a
eat
dark meat guy
all the time. So we grew up on light meat. I'm looking at you, Sandy Powers. My parents we were primarily white meat people. At least I think, like, that's what I remember. So if I'm unnecessarily maligning you, then I apologize. But I just remember the first time I had dark meat, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's flavor in this.
Oh, I don't remember having white meat if dark meat was an option.
So not a chicken breast guy?
No.
Me either.
I mean, I'll eat a chicken breast.
Sure, but not, I mean,
and
like if I go,
like, even if I go, chicken breast sandwich, like a grilled chicken sandwich.
Even that I would rather you do a thigh.
But most of them are done wrong.
So we went out to lunch Sunday, and I ordered fried chicken. I was like, all dark meat. I just don't. Yeah, dark meat. So did you know that turkey was not always the star of the show? Like in medieval times, you want to take a guess?
How medieval are we talking? 17?
I mean, I think medieval is
16, 15, one of those.
Yeah, it didn't get that specific.
Oh, okay.
Henry VIII.
I'm going to say,
So Henry VIII was the pivot point. It became turkey at Henry VIII.
well, I mean, just saying Henry VIII makes me think it was a wife, but
It was not. It was not a wife.
but could have been pheasant,
It was a peacock.
a peacock.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a zoo in Iowa that I went to that has peacocks that are just loose. They cross the path right in front of you, just walking loose. And I never thought, I wonder what that tastes like.
Well, yeah, I guess some of it also probably is about availability. Like
I said, it was
here
right there.
in an abundance, but you had other options. Perhaps they didn't.
I had a funnel cake option.
So this says, back to your cranberry take. I'm reading an article, and it says that 29% of Americans say that they eat cranberry sauce because it is part of the holidays, but they absolutely hate it.
Then why do you eat it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Now, I do know this. I know that there are families that can cook and there are families that can't. There are families that appreciate good food and there are families that just don't know good food.
Sure.
And so there are people who travel to different places or travel to family or whatever, and they end up at a place and they're like, man, this is inedible.
Yeah.
What do people in those situations, what should they do? If like you're just at a place and really the only thing you can eat are the store-bought cheesecake and the store-bought rolls.
I mean, how big is the crowd?
We're let's say 20, 30, 40
okay,
people.
so it's big enough that you can fly under the radar.
Like you go through, you get a scoop of everything.
I would cover it with a napkin and throw it away.
I'm in that boat.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that's horrible of me. I work in food scarcity is my job.
Well, sure.
And yet.
Sure, but the leftovers we're not going to feed anyone else anyway.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do it, man.
Yeah. No, I get it. You had mentioned the prime rib that you and your family do. That is every state apparently has a food recipe that's most searched for. That's Idaho's.
Idaho's, really?
Idaho. I bet it goes with a scalloped potato or something.
Yeah, I can see that. So you said, okay, scalloped potatoes. This is a good segue, which I love, by the way, because it's like, hey, let's take these potatoes, let's just give them a bath in butter and cream, top them out with some cheese. Like there's very little wanting in scalloped potatoes. But I remember scalloped potatoes being this really like rich, robust, like incredible experience food.
Yeah.
As it seems to me that a lot of holiday food used to feel super decadent and over the top. So there is this, I've heard in a couple of different spheres, there is this thought that as time goes by that the best holiday food, the best holiday recipes are dying with the older generation. What do you think?
100% accurate.
Yeah, what do you think's behind it?
That the way the older generation prepared food, from ingredient selection on through final pulling it out of the oven or whatever, was done differently than it is now. Now it's a Pinterest recipe, and this is nothing against Pinterest. My wife and I do Pinterest recipes all the time. You know, I know you found recipes there before.
Sure.
Nothing against those, but those are X number of minutes of prep, X number of minutes to cook, and that's part of the search.
Right.
When you talk about,
so you're saying the fact that we're busier plays into it. Maybe less available time.
The fact that we create less time for it. I don't think that we're necessarily busier not with what's important.
But it was nothing, say to my grandma, my Meemaw was nothing for her to spend
a week preparing the food.
Right. And Breeze, I think a Breeze nanny would wake up on Thanksgiving at 4 a.m. and start firing things off. Mm-hmm. So we're less inclined towards that.
Oh, now. Certainly.
Okay. What do you think's behind that?
I think that, like you said, it was your grandmothers that would do that, or Bree's grandmothers that would do that. Same for me. And I think that the moms don't want to just be in the kitchen.
Right.
I think they want to be a part of whatever else is going on. So it's what can I put together, put in the oven, and then come be a part of.
I think that's true. I think beyond that too, I think we are, and there's a I feel like there's probably a balance to be struck, and this is not going to come out right. I think that our obsession with health has played into it. Bree's nanny used to drink half and half.
Okay.
But we don't now. That would be frowned on.
Okay, so there's two parts to what I think to this. I think that there's an inclination toward medical health that wasn't there before, but I think the foods that we buy off the shelf are made differently, different ingredients, different
You've talked
whatever,
about that before, yeah,
than the ones that were bought even.
Well, I think less
the
of
80s.
I think there was less that you could buy off the shelf then. Like you
probably, but I think
now there's a lot of just add water type things. You know what I mean? And there wasn't.
And I mean,
then
how healthy can a add water be to a?
But I just think like what made something decadent, right, is butter and is cream, and people are more cognizant of what they're putting into their body these days, and so there's all of these workarounds.
To
I think
point,
that
but man, look around.
Well,
I'm a fat guy, but I'm not a standout fat guy.
I don't know. I think you're pretty outstanding.
But I mean,
yeah, I think it plays into it. I think what you're saying is true. I think there's a time standard to it. I think we want different things out of the holiday. I also think that there was this weird period of time where I don't know if you want to call it lack of interest or whatever, but it's like we weren't asking, hey, Mima, I want that recipe, right? And then she's gone, and then just nobody has it.
And nobody realizes they're missing it until she's gone.
Or there's like a real Italian mom is not giving you the right recipe.
Oh, sure.
Right. Like it's a step off. So now you're 4 generations from the original.
Yeah.
And it's been, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's probably, I'm going to call that a smaller percentage, but I think that's playing into it as well.
Yeah, I can see some Italian and some German and French grandmas doing that.
Yeah, an Italian mom's not giving you her straight up recipe, dude. There's no chance.
Hey, man, there's no secrecy like the old East German.
But I will let somebody's noni cook for me. So I don't need your recipe, Italian grandma.
Just invite me over.
Just invite me over. Yeah. I will eat and give you the credit every bite of the way. Man. You've lived all over. There's some regional holiday favorites that I thought we could talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's throw them out there.
So, New England, the site I'm on specifically says New Jersey, but I also know it to be a Massachusetts thing. Chicago, anywhere where there's a high Italian concentration, they do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. Are you familiar?
I am familiar. It's okay. I'm not the biggest fish guy, so I'm not like overwhelmed with it. To me, it's just like, that's a lot of fish.
Yeah, do you know? So it's a traditional New Year's Eve thing that there's 7 different fish dishes, and so 7 is a very it's
in different regions. Sometimes it's a Christmas, sometimes New Year's Eve.
Right, but either way, it is it actually is kind of has like a religious root. So 7 is a significant number.
Yeah,
in numerology study and scripture study. So the number of days in creation, the number of sacraments, the 7 virtues, 7 deadly sins, the days it took Mary and Joseph to reach Bethlehem. And so it is just this kind of celebration of the arrival of Christ, and it's fish because in the part of Italy where it originated, that's what was readily available. And so it just became, I've never participated in a Feast of the 7 Fishes, but I would do it.
I have never participated in like the preparation of it, because that is a very long and drawn out thing. It's there are some families that will do 7 fishes and then 5 other dishes to go with it,
right,
to round out the 12 for the apostles.
Oh, that's cool.
And so there's other religious things in it. I've had the food, but it's all seafood, and yes, it's good, but I'm not.
I like seafood. I'll eat it.
I'll eat the other seafood. Having that much fish is just not my.
I'm going to say from the dessert side, hats off to Missouri. So a Missouri tradition is the gooey butter cake. You had a gooey butter cake?
No, but I need one
Kevin.
now.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Hey,
Look at this
everybody.
right here.
Send us a gooey butter cake.
Looky here. It's one of those. Yeah.
Oh.
Man, it's delicious. I'll put a picture. This is where I will edit in a picture of gooey butter cake here. But yeah, so it is it is rich and decadent, and it's like yellow. Imagine like yellow cake mix with a lot of butter that doesn't quite set up.
Well, what's the best part of the cake anyway? It's licking the bowl.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
I saw a regional one, and it only said Mexico, but it should have included at least all of Texas.
Yeah,
was tamales.
Tamales. It's now in South Texas, tamale season starts like right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I have a friend, and they live. His family is in the valley, and so their deal is the morning after Thanksgiving, the men go out and harvest the pig, and then that's early, and then they process it, and then after lunch, everybody gets together and they kind of roast it, and then that evening they start filling it. So it's like but it's a season. It's definitely a season of
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a tamale guy?
No,
Really?
I'm not.
I wonder if you've just not had good ones, or
I've had a lot of tamales.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't been bashful with them, but no, I don't seek out tamales.
Interesting.
This time of year, I'll go to lunch with someone and I'll be like, hey, let's go get tamales. And all right, fine.
I'm going to give a shout out to our good friend, Joel Colon here. Joel, if you're watching this, is for you. Are you familiar with coquito?
Very little.
Like Puerto Rican eggnog?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I've had it, but I've heard about it.
It is so good.
What is different between the nog that I know and this?
So one, it's rum instead of like a bourbon or a whiskey.
Well, I do
so it's going to have a slightly different. But the everything else, it's milk, cream of coconut. Then you do cinnamon, star anise, nutmeg, clove, and rum, and it's it's so good.
Yeah, when I say leaded, I'm not narrowing it down. Sometimes it's spiced rum, sometimes it's whiskey.
So traditionally, though, I'm going to say this, but I actually think that there are different versions. I do think that whiskey bourbon is your traditional
American
nog.
eggnog. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
yeah,
But rum's so good.
delicious.
Just if I've got spiced rum, I'm going rum.
yeah. I'll allow that.
When I say leaded, I just mean with something.
Well, there is one bit of holiday news before we start talking about season 2 that I found discouraging. That holiday food prices are projected up 18% from 2 years ago, and an additional 7%.
Seems more than that. I know in the news lately they've been talking about the Home Alone movie.
So
where
this says
Kevin McAllister goes shopping and how he spent less than $20 and how now that would be $60-something.
So this says the data analysis shows that a basic Christmas dinner in 2023 purchased from a supermarket for a family of 4 will cost approximately $50.56, which is 18.5% higher than 2021.
Well, they weren't looking at my house for that.
Well, you're not a typical family of 4. I mean, you
might be a
are
family,
of four, and then you've got we will spend more than 50. My prime rib is double and triple.
I guess I'd kind of like to know what menu they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. Saltines and sardines.
I mean, that seems low.
Could you get a turkey for a family of 4 with all the sides for 50? That's got to be what they're talking about.
I mean,
has to be.
It's got to be one of the small turkeys. I know when we were, I just looked when we were in the store right before Thanksgiving, and turkeys were $40 to $70.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Man,
I
would
can't
not pay that much for something I don't like.
Yeah, no.
Well, we'll pay. I mean, the prime rib for 11. I mean, we're close to $200 for. For the meat.
So, okay, Christmas, and then there's also New Year.
Yep.
There's some New Year foods like black-eyed peas.
Hop John.
In Spain, they do the 12 grapes.
Which you told me. I was like, oh, really? What's that about?
Yeah, it's you just eat the 12 grapes quickly, and I guess it's for good luck. And the faster you eat them, the gooder your luck.
That's dumb.
I don't understand it. I don't know why 12 grapes would be a thing. But apparently the tradition is
That's
as
not even a
widespread
good
as
enough
singing
snack,
happy
though.
birthday.
What? It's not even like 12 grapes is not even a good. It's not even a good snack.
No.
If I'm having 12 grapes, I need some cheese or something.
It does not mention cheese.
Come on, Spain. You're telling me the country that gave me paella can only give me 12 grapes? I wanted more.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't research or write the article.
I'm sad for
I
Spain.
barely opened it in a separate tab.
Well, before I begin to weep, let's talk season 2.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back to weekly posting.
Yes.
Again, starting in the new year, probably the second week of the new year. That's the goal.
Sounds right.
Yeah. So yeah, some things that let's talk about what some of our vision is. I know one of the things we want to do more is we're gonna add in some reviews of local establishments. Now this is going to be most helpful to those that live in or around San Antonio in the Hill Country. But yeah, we want to add in some food reviews. We've got, like you mentioned earlier, there's we're going to be recording a burger challenge coming up, so we want to do some more of that stuff. But I guess putting you on the spot, what are you hoping for 2024 and all that it holds for Feed Your Fat Face?
Feed Your Fat Face. You know, I'm hoping that 2024 that our reach expands a little bit. I'd like us to, have some more interaction with some more people because the interaction's been a lot of fun.
It's a ton of fun.
I don't think we've had more interaction than when you blasphemed brisket.
Oh, that was a rough go.
I really
that was a rough go.
I'm glad you came out of that okay.
Yeah, it was questionable for a minute.
But yeah, I just the interacting with people. I like going around places trying new foods.
Yeah.
Maybe post some more foods that we're trying. Now that we're doing video, we're going to do some of these challenges.
And I think we want to bring people in a little bit, right?
Yes.
So like we've talked about my friend Chris and doing a beer podcast. We've talked about
and his wife,
his friend Lacey, who works
Tyson or something,
Cobb Foods. But yeah, they sell to anyway. I'll let Lacey handle all of that. But we've even got my friend Tim, who is director of operations with a big restaurant group in Green.
Yeah.
Our friend Austin.
Yeah, we get Fast in here.
Yeah, we want to bring Joel on. He wants to come in and talk.
And we want to find new people to bring on.
Yeah, and we want to do things that speak to you guys. So we really do. I know we ask a lot on social media, but we want some feedback from you. Like, what are the things that you would like to see us talk about? What would make the show more engaging? So we just want to take it to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the face of what we want to be the vehicle to have some outreach.
Yeah.
And so the more engagement we get on this side, the more we're going to be able to do on the other side on engaging with and feeding and doing that.
Which is important to both of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think this is the doorway to that.
I would imagine we'll do some more ballpark stuff this year.
We need to.
We will do some more ballpark stuff.
We need to do some Minute Maid, maybe down in Corpus.
Oh, it's such a great stadium.
We'll definitely go back up to Arlington, though I'm not having their degenerate burger.
No, that thing was horrible. They have
so bad.
something. I mean, that's what they say they're known for, but
it can't be.
It can't be.
It was so bad. I could have eaten at least another half.
Yeah, it wasn't good, man.
And it was just bad.
The bread was stale.
It was so bad. Anyway.
So yeah, we just want to keep bringing I am. We just want to keep bringing what we hope is quality content. But more than anything, we want to keep you engaged. And so let us know how we can do that.
Yeah.
But more than anything, we just want to, continue to hang out. Just a couple of best friends talking about their shared love of food. So we're looking forward to getting back
we're
into
definitely we're going to be hanging out and talking about food and eating at different places, whether you guys come with us or not, but we'd like you to come with us.
Well, as we add in video too, we can do some things like we can actually bring food in.
Right.
While we're, I'm sure they would love to watch us
or
eat.
We can go on site.
We can go on site. Yeah, we upgraded some equipment, not just how we're recording today, but some other stuff that we bought recently that allows us to do remote stuff. So so stay tuned for all of that. Anything else you want to fit in before we move into our outros?
No, I'm done.
Well, Kevin, it's been a blast doing this with you as always, man. And I don't know, man. It was a great first year.
It was a good first year learning experience. It's fun. Thank everybody that's listened and
thank you.
Now watching.
We can't say this enough, but this really is kind of a dream come true for me and for us. This is a blast. So, as always, man, we just thank you for tuning in. You guys mean the world to us, and we'll be back second week with new episodes. So stay tuned for that, Kevin.
And keep your grills hot and your beer cold.
All right, fatties. We'll see you next week.